So Ableton 12 just dropped with a whole bunch of new cool features, which probably means we're gonna have to go back and redo that whole video series regarding Bitwig versus Ableton and see who comes out on top now using Ableton 12. However, although there's a bunch of cool new features in Ableton 12, the one thing that was on my wish list, both for Ableton 12 and also for Bitwig, was ARA2 compatibility. And having ARA2 compatibility makes it so much easier when you're working with programs like Melodyne or Vocaline. Now, even though Ableton 12 and Bitwig don't have the ARA2 compatibility, there is a really easy workaround that I wanted to show you in this video. So it's gonna be a quick, easy, right to the point video, but hopefully this helps somebody out there that uses Melodyne or Vocaline a lot in Ableton or in Bitwig, a workaround how to instantly transfer your tracks into those programs so you can start editing inside of there. So here we are inside of Ableton, and this is a track by an artist, Michael Monet. There's going to be a link down below to the finished, final released version, so go ahead and click on that if you want to check it out and see what it sounds like. But here we have just the lead vocal, and I've taken most of the effects off of here just so we can hear mostly the dry vocal. And let's say we wanted to use Melodyne to do a couple of tweaks. Now, since Ableton doesn't support ARA2 format, what we would traditionally have to do is put Melodyne on the channel, come up here and hit transfer, and then play back the entirety of the song in real time. But there's an easier way to do that. Now, before we actually do that, the one thing you do want to make note is that this is your final edit, because after you print it into Melodyne, it's kind of a pain in the butt to go back and track it back in. Also, if you have any other effects here on this channel, you want to make sure that Melodyne is the very first thing on the track, so it's not being affected by any of the other plugins that are passing the audio through it. So instead of tracking it in real time, all we're going to do is turn on transfer and then come over here and simply freeze this track. And we can see we had it going into Melodyne right there, and now we're going to unfreeze the track. Let's pull up Melodyne. And just like that, we can see all of the vocals are now printed right inside of Melodyne, so we're able to go in here and tweak away. You don't actually have to track in the vocals in real time. Just freeze the track and then unfreeze it, and instantly the vocals are transferred over into Melodyne. Now here we are inside of Bitwig. Essentially, I just opened up that Ableton session inside of Bitwig, so it's going to have all the exact same tracks going on. Now, we do this very similar with Melodyne inside of Bitwig, but it does have one little tweak that I think gives it a little bit of an advantage. So just like we would inside Ableton, we're going to add Melodyne right here, and we want to make sure that it is on the very first slot and there's no other effects before it. Now, like Ableton, where we freeze the entire track and then unfreeze it, we can do that inside Bitwig by using this bounce in place right here. So just like Ableton, let's go ahead and select transfer and then just click on this clip right here and hit bounce in place. And we can see that it just printed that vocal take into Melodyne, where we can go and tweak things. So I actually like this method a little bit better than Ableton because I don't have to do the entire track. If I just want to, let's say, add Melodyne to this little section of the vocal right here, again, I just click on transfer, right click, bounce in place, and there we go. It just printed that section into Melodyne. So just like Ableton, you are able to instantly transfer the vocal right into Melodyne without having to do any sort of real-time tracking in. And I do like the way Bitwig works a little bit better with this, with the bounce in place, meaning that I could just select each individual section that I want to bring into Melodyne if I need to tweak a certain part, and I don't have to bring in the entire track by doing the entire freezing of the track. So that's it, short, to the point, quick and easy. I hope that helps somebody out there who uses Melodyne, Vocaline, or any other ARA2 program inside of Ableton or Bitwig. Stay tuned. There's a little like and subscribe button down below. We'd greatly appreciate the support. If you want to support us here at the channel even more, there's a Zounds link where anything you buy, a little tiny percentage comes back to us here, keeps the lights on, and keeps us going and growing. On that note, my name's Stu. This is Create, Educate, and Inspire, and how we always sign off on this channel. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. Now go implement this little workaround and go make something cool.